Okay, so you just have to survive another part of theory. So again, I will say something and then you have to teach each other. So our nervous system consists of two major parts. We have the central nervous system. That is our brain and our stem. What do you call that? Rygmarven. Spinal cord. Okay. So what is your name? Annie. Okay, Annie. If you can sit here. So this is the spinal cord. Okay. Can you feel it? Okay. So the brain and the spinal cord. This is the central nervous system. Now, Annie will never forget that because she felt it. Okay. and you knew already. So now you will try with each other, 2 and 2. The central nervous system is my brain and my spinal cord. And then you have to do like this on your spinal cord, okay? 2 and 2, so that you remember. Okay, but they're not doing anything. They have to do it. They have to, like I did with Annie, you have to touch your spinal cord. True. Your brain and your spinal cord. Okay. The other part of the nervous system is, we call it peripheral part. And you have the name for peripheral? And so this is your fingertips and your arms, you know, and it's your toes and your legs, everything. So touch yourself now. Okay. This is your peripheral nervous system. Yes. Okay. So if somebody is out of balance and you want to activate the nervous system, you can do like this. Okay. So you have to test it. Okay. So I can even do. What is your name? Sonia. So I can even do it with Sonia. Okay. I will activate her until her knee, not, you know. So the peripheral nervous system has many layers. We have the sensory nerves, which is in our fingers, and it sends the signal all the way up. The nerves attach to the spinal cord, and then it sends up to the brain. And the motor neurons, they send signals from the brain out until your body. So if I say now, touch your nose, these are motor neurons. Everybody touch your nose. Motor neurons. What you feel on your nose tip is sensory neurons, and it sends the signals to the brain. Children with developmental problems, they have sensory motor problems. They find it difficult to find out what am I sensing and how can I control my movements. Then there is another layer under the motor neurons. The somatic nervous system is what I can control. I can say I pick up this one, or I want to blow in this one. I can decide and I am in control. And the other part is our autonomic nervous system. I'm not in control. This is something my body decides. And the autonomic nervous systems consist of sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. And this is what we have to work with the next hour. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. All right, because our sympathetic nervous system is in, this is the same spinal cord, but it's just been divided so that we can see the nerves. When the sympathetic nervous system is in control, these 14 nerves is run by adrenaline. And you can see this one nerve goes all the way to your eyes, and this one goes to your heart and lung, and these ones go to all your intestines. And you remember hypothalamus, hypophyse, adrenal glands. Make sure that we have adrenaline in our blood. And adrenaline tells our organs to push the blood into our big muscles. Our pressure, the blood leaves the organs and is pushed to our muscle groups. That is why on adrenaline our pulse rise. And we get power from blood, and our muscle gets more energy. And in my frontal brain, my frontal lobe, go from dopamine to adrenaline. So I cannot read the consequences. I'm only surviving on adrenaline. And it takes between 7 minutes and 20 minutes for adrenaline to go down again. So when I'm adrenaline, I'm surviving, and I cannot understand what you're telling me, and I cannot relax until the adrenaline is off. And so when the adrenaline is down, then I shift to parasympathetic nervous system. And these are different nerves who are in control of the parasympathetic nervous system.
Սրանք արդեն առանձին համակարգերին, առանձին ներգործություններ են, յուրաքանչյուրի իր պատասխանատվության տակ արդեն այլ համակարգեր են։
Altogether we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves.
Եվ ընդհանուր առմամբ մենք ունենք 12 զույգ
Cranial nerves.
cranial, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We are. Controls my eyes. Deep inside my brain.
Cranial, it is from the side.
It's from the inner side of the brain. Cranium.
Cranium.
This is cranium.
Yes.
But cranial nerves comes from the inside the brain.
12 pair. 12 pair. And they do different things. The cranial nerves help me listen. Yes, and the cranial nerves help me watch and look. I can see. So we have 12 pairs. 4 of them are in control of the parasympathetic nervous system. 4 of them. And these 4 are very important because they are called the social nerves and help me relax.
Դրանք շատ կարևոր են, որովհետև դրանք ոնց որ հենակետային են համարվում եւ դրանք են օգնում, որպեսզի մենք ավելի հանգիստ լինենք, հանգստանանք։
And in a balanced life, 80% of my time I'm in parasympathetic nervous and 20% I'm in sympathetic nervous.
Եվ բալանսավորված շարժուձևի եւ առօրյայի պարագայում ես 80%-ով parasympathetic.
Yes, 80%. I'm relaxed. But if I'm traumatized, it can be opposite. 80% I'm like this on adrenaline all the time and I cannot relax, I cannot sleep, I cannot digest. So that's why we want to help our nervous system to get back into the balance. So the parasympathetic nervous system is 4 cranial nerves and 3 nerves from the lower body.
Parasympathetic նյարդային համակարգը մարմնի ներքին հատվածի համար է պատասխանատու։
Exactly. Okay, what is funny? You can share. Oh, okay. I'll go on. I think I know what it is. Okay. So, I don't know if you're familiar with the window of tolerance. Have you heard of the window of tolerance? Okay.
They know a word.
Okay. So Dan Siegel, he is a specialist in trauma care.
Dan Siegel, travmaների մասով responsible,
Specialist. Yes. Right. And I will go through this graphic and then you have to teach each other about the same thing. Okay. So between these 2 blocks, these 2 lines, you see this curve. And when you are in this curve, then you are in parasympathetic nervous system and you can relax, you can enjoy life, you can concentrate, you can fall asleep, you can lose a game and, live to lose the game.
Parasympathetic նյարդային համակարգերի ազդեցության գոտում այս պարագայում դուք կարողանում եք ավելի հանգիստ ընդունել այն ամենը ինչ կա, այսինքն դուք կարող եք քնել, հանգստանալ, լավ զգացես, նույնիսկ ինչ որ խաղ, եթե դուք խաղում պարտվեք, այդ ամենը ավելի հանգիստ եք տանում։
But then something happens.
Բայց երբ որ ինչ որ բան է տեղի ունենում,
and then you shift to adrenaline. And then you can either go hyper, fight and flight, or hypo, and you go into like this freeze. You can't move your body because your muscles freeze.
Այդ բaragայում ձեր մկանները արդեն քարանում են եւ դուք չեք կարողանում շարժվել, ոչ մեկ չեք կարողանում անել։ Անկեք կատարում եք այդ իրավիճակի։
And this is normal, and this is the way our body helps us survive.
Իրական սա նորմալ է, որովհետեւ սա այն տարբերակն է, որ այն իրավիճակներն են, որ ստիպում են մեզ եւ մեր նյարդային համակարգի միջոցով բալանսավորվել եւ նորմալ իրականում ռեակցիաներ տալ։
But sometimes if you have stress for a longer period of time, then cortisol reduces your capacity. So it gets narrow. And then something happens and then you go up or down, up and down. So it's smaller and you're always like this. And you can get in a hypo condition with adrenaline where you just get into a freeze situation. But if you have a lot of stress with cortisol and your window is narrow, and you are in a hypo condition, then you are almost in a collapse, and it is as if you cannot move your body forever and ever. And this is highly traumatized people. So what we want to is have good strategies so we can help shift the nervous system into parasympathetic condition. And to me, everything that we will be doing this afternoon and the next 2 days is talk about how do we increase our window of tolerance so we can have life quality. And I think this example with your student earlier, with the autistic boy, your example, he had a very narrow tolerance. He would be like this all the time. And then after a year, he changed. And now he can play. He can be in the classroom. He has friends. And this is the same even if you come from if you are displaced, in your displaced people, in the subculture of the displaced people from Nagorno-Karabakh, or if you grow up as a local, if you have too much adversity, then you have a smaller capacity. To tolerate your life. So this illustration shows a very healthy person. I have a very wide tolerance and capacity. I can take a lot. And this person has a very small and narrow capacity. So our world, and here is where you can get traumatized. If you have a lot of capacity, a lot of things can happen, but you can get through it. And if you have a lot of stress already, you are more easily traumatized. So we want to make sure that we have enough strategies to help people increase their capacity. Okay, so now you have to find in your goodie bag, you have to find some of these little graphics, okay? You have to find 2 graphics. This is in English, but you have the, I think you have the translation. You have to find the one with cortisol. And the one with the nervous system. And now you have to explain this to one another. Okay, you use this as a cue card. So you explain what is the cortisol problem and what is the window of tolerance. Okay, so it's the window of tolerance and it's the cortisol cards. Okay, so you explain this to each other, 2 and 2, so you know the theory. Okay, now. Are you okay?
Alt det ses, for normalt så synes jeg, når det er så lille skrift, så synes jeg, det er svært for lige med. Der er ikke nogen af dem, der er...
Nå, det... Nej, og ellers så gør folk det, at de tager billeder, og så kan de zoome ind.
Stopper, hvis det er for meget.
Ja, det er lige meget, men det er det her Jette Svane, hun er i gang med at tegne op. Alle de her grafikker kommer jeg til at have min egen signaturtegning på. Hvor det kun er det vigtigste, der er med.
Ja.
He likes it. He has not heard it before, so he likes it.
I've never heard her before.
First time.
I just tried to explain it to myself.
Yes. It's very good. Prøv at se, de er aktive hele tiden.
Og det er jo det her musik kommer. Det her, det er genialt som lærer. Det er sindssygt for vildt, at der er noget fysisk.
Ja. Ja. De samme billeder har vi fra New York med lærerne og personale. Ja. Det er alle 15.000 kroner værd. Do you need a new bag? Take a new bag. There are more bags. What? No, no, it's theirs to keep, but I will tell them.
Selvom hver eneste lov, du har fået gennemholdet ting lavet, inden du
Hvad spørger du?
det er ikke tage har en ting på palet.
Lad os tage det bagefter.
They were laughing and they wanted to express why they are laughing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Սոնան քթիտականթատ բաներ է խոսում։ Սոնան քթիտականթատ բաներ է խոսում։ Ասում որ մենք ինչ ես անում, Սոնա ջան, դու ես թարգմանում։
Sona all the time whispers.
Yes.
And she asks, are you translating also?
Ասում է չէ, թարգմնում եմ որ չմոռանամ։
No, she said, I'm repeating all the time.
Oh,
but not
that's
to
very
forget."
good.
But that's what you have also.
Yes, this is what you have to do.
Շատ կարող է։ Մարիամ լավ սովորի որ ինձ օգնես։
And she says something. She says, oh, it's really important. Learn it, then you know the.
Learn,
then to
repeat,
transfer it.
learn, repeat. Yes.
Her window is really narrow, and that's why she becomes anxious very easily.
Yes, true.
Her humor is really strong. So, that's why whenever she explains or tells a story, it is really laughing at.
That's very good.
I'm sorry, I need to pass
Sure,
my
sure.
place.
Okay. So, do you have any questions or comments just for this? Thank you.
Very interesting. Really.
Oh, thank you. What is also to me very interesting is that for 1 hour the child can have very little tolerance, and then the next hour they can tolerate a lot. So even during the day it goes like this, and then like this, and then like this.
Իրականում հետաքրքիր է նաև այն, որ օրինակ երեխան կամ անձը կարող է ունենալ շատ փոքր այդ համբերության պատուհաններին շատ նեղ, այնուհետև 1 ժամվա ընթացքում մի հաջորդ ժամվա ընթացքում այդ պատուհանը բավականին լայնանա եւ օրվա ընթացքում դա անընդհատ նեղանա, լայնանա։
And if what did she say?
It is common for all people, not
Yeah, for everybody. And sometimes if a person has very little tolerance, you can be very upset with that person. And you want to tell them, concentrate and stop doing that, and you didn't clean the room and all of that. But the best way to increase capacity is activating the neurotransmitters. Especially oxytocin. Because if somebody feels love, adrenaline will go down. Cortisol will go down. And I tell teachers and educationalists every time you want to discipline somebody.
Եվ ամեն անգամ երբ ես ասում եմ ուսուցանողների, եթե դու ամեն անգամ բարկանում եք, փոխանակ բարկանալ, այսինքն այս ինչ արեք, այն ինչը մի արեք,
it's quicker to make them change their behavior if you acknowledge them and show them care.
Նրանց վերաբերմունքը իրականում փոխվում է, եթե դուք իրենց նկատմամբ ավելի հոգատարություն եք ցուցաբերում։
The problem is that adrenaline is infectious.
Խնդիրը այն է, որ ադրենալինը ոնց որ վարակիչ է։
If I'm with somebody who speaks like this, I want to speak like that. You know,
Եթե ես ուզում եմ, որ ինչ-որ մեկը խոսի բարկացած տոնով, ես կարող եմ բարկացած